you must have good internet, so I appreciate that.
Yeah, for sure. This whole like work from home thing I've really taken seriously. So I've tried to get my setup kind of tuned down a little bit.
Yeah, man, that's uh I watched a few of your videos. You just started a YouTube channel like recently.
Like last week, pretty much. Yeah,
Right.
literally last week. Mm.
I'm really surprised you don't have your face covering on. Because
Yeah.
the video I did with, or that I watched, you were talking about why I do airsoft.
Yep. Yeah, it's I kind of when I first got into it, and we can talk more about it. But like when I first got into it, the face curving, I was inspired by people like Administrative Results because I was, that's kind of where I got my name from for Instagram.
Okay.
And I did it at first just to be kind of, in case like someone at work found my videos, just to
Uh,
have like be, a little anonymous on the internet, which is kind of bullshit because it's the internet and anyone can like find out anything.
yeah, true.
But after a while, it's just kind of like I'm playing airsoft. I'm not like an operator who's like out there like snapping necks and taking names type stuff. It's airsoft. We're shooting plastic pellets at one another. So
Yeah.
the face mask
Yeah.
has come off since then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. I was down for it if you wanted to wear it. That's fine.
Yeah.
In
I mean,
fact,
hey, if people like it, I'll definitely keep it on. I'll
hey,
keep
it's
it keep
blown
it
now,
going.
bro. You're on here, so.
My cover's brown. Damn it.
Well, I mean, this is recorded, so
All right.
we could cut it out. But
No.
I did. I got a message from one of the guys in the UK that I'm going to be doing a podcast with next week, and he asked me, "Can I wear my face covering?" I was like,
Mhm.
"Yeah, dude. Like,
Yeah.
wear
Totally.
whatever you want. I don't
Yeah.
care."
Absolutely. No,
You
that's
know?
good on you, man.
Hell yeah. So you're in the middle of the country, I think, right? You're in Texas somewhere.
Yeah, I'm down in Houston, Texas. Moved down here about a year ago from Savannah, Georgia, where I went to college, and I've been loving it, man. I grew up in Minnesota, Minneapolis area, and so I've paid my dues when it comes to cold winters and stuff like that. So I'm loving the South.
Yeah.
It's a good
Nice.
time. Yeah.
So you grew up in Minnesota in the cold, and then I grew up in Cleveland, Ohio, in the
Oh, there you
cold as
go.
well.
Okay. Yep. So
Yeah,
you know exactly what I'm talking about.
exactly. So we've been in South Carolina for like 14 years.
Oh,
Eh,
beautiful. Okay. Where at?
Simpsonville.
Simpsonville. Okay.
It's
My
right.
girlfriend
It's
has some
by
family in South Carolina. It's beautiful.
yeah, we love it here. It's by Greenville.
Greenville. Okay.
So it's like they call it the upstate. We're about less than an hour from North Carolina border.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So about 3 hours or so from Myrtle Beach.
Oh, there you go. Okay. I know
So
Myrtle Beach. Yeah.
yeah, so anytime the bad weather hits, hurricane stuff or whatever, we don't get hardly anything.
Lucky, lucky.
Yeah, we're in a good spot.
I was gonna say, yeah. I didn't
Yeah.
know, man. You picked a good location.
So I've been reaching out to a bunch of people on Instagram
Hmm.
just in the last like month, and to do some podcasts and stuff. I was really excited that you wanted to do one because I like your gameplay videos,
Thank you.
and it's a new channel, and I like the video where you were talking about why I do airsoft. And you were kind of giving some explanation on that and a
Yeah.
little bit of background and stuff. And so anyway, yeah, I was excited that you wanted to join me on here.
Yeah, dude. I mean, seriously, thank you for giving me the opportunity to come on here and talk with you. This is my first kind of official podcast that I've done, so I was definitely looking forward to it and very excited that you reached out. So thanks.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad. Yeah, so I think in the last probably 6 or 7 people I've done a podcast with, it was their first. Most of them, it was their first podcast.
That's awesome.
And I just started doing this on our channel probably 6 months ago.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, just to have something to do, something to post on the channel. And I've always been talking to, most of the people that follow us.
Hmm.
Like we have some, core followers that, started following us right when we started the channel, and they're still in our Discord. We talk all the time,
Oh, that's
chat through
great.
there. And I've done some, just like video calls on my phone with people, just random, like on a weekend, like we're just chatting. And I'm like, hey, what are you doing? So I'll just video call them and just bullshit. And I thought, I should do this on this kind of format where,
Just start recording this. Yeah, absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, man, because some of the guys, bro, they have some good stories, and I love hearing the different stories. I don't know if you saw the one with, or well, the handful of them with a keeper, and so I was doing some with him. It's I call him Keeper Gun Show because he's got so many airsoft guns, bro. Like specialty ones, really cool ones. And
Really?
he has a story behind every single one. I
That's
think
cool
I've
when you have
done,
a story behind it. That's awesome.
yeah, it's really cool. So, and he's been playing since like the mid '90s,
Wow. He's been at
bro.
it for a minute.
I'm saying,
That's
and he's
insane. The 90s. I was like,
yeah, and he's got a YouTube channel he's been on for a long time. He's got 700 videos on YouTube.
Jesus Christ.
I was like, I said, Keeper, dude, he's like the most experienced airsofter I've ever met,
I was going to say, yeah, because I mean, most of the people, it's, the couple years, give or take,
Yeah.
but he's been doing it since the 90s.
Yeah,
Not
and
to
he still
mention,
loves
like,
it.
maintaining a YouTube channel and the amount of work it takes to kind of upkeep that and then edit videos. And so that's really impressive.
So you edit your own videos, so like
It takes a while. Yeah, yeah. It definitely takes a while, not only editing, but like going in the field, making sure all your batteries are charged, making sure your camera's actually on and recording when you're out on
no
the field.
kidding.
Yeah, because, that happened once or twice. And you think you get some really cool footage and you go home and it's just like, oh, okay, well, my camera wasn't on.
Oh,
And then, sifting through the footage, kind of seeing what's worth keeping and all that stuff. So,
yeah.
Jesus, 700 videos. I got a ways to go, man. I got a ways to go.
Well, I remember when we first started our channel, I was looking at a lot of different videos to like how to start a YouTube channel, how to,
Right.
and this wasn't even this channel. This was a couple channels ago. So I
Okay.
started like 5 different YouTube channels uh, just to keep my mind busy when I was recovering and stuff. So I did all this research, and I remember hearing this guy talk. He said, "Look, you're gonna stress out. Everyone does, about you're gonna upload your first video, and you're gonna watch the analytics. You're gonna watch how many views do I get. You're gonna
Oh,
watch
yeah.
it like minute by minute, then
Refresh. Yeah,
refresh,
right.
hour by hour, all this kind of stuff." And then he's like, "Just relax." He said, "The best thing to do is just have in your mind this mindset that the first 100 videos on your channel is just practice." And I said, "Holy shit,
First 100.
100 videos? Okay,
Wow.
like I need to expedite this practice thing."
Yeah, dude, totally.
Holy
Oh, yeah,
crap!
yeah. That's crazy. Yeah, because I mean, I feel like everyone, when you make a YouTube channel and you upload your first video, you have like this big grandiose dream, like, oh, I'm gonna blow up, and it's
Yeah.
gonna get hundreds of thousands of views. And sometimes like that might be the case, but that's pretty rare. I mean, usually it's you have a few buddies who watch it, and you get like a handful of subscribers. So just yeah, start small, but I mean, 100 videos to kind of get that worked out. Like I said, I got a ways to go. Still.
You got some work,
Jesus.
yeah.
Yeah, I got some work to do. So hopefully I'll get there one day.
You're starting out good though.
Thank you. You too, man. I mean, you got some good content on your stuff too. A lot of
Thank you.
good variety. So
I got this message from, I think it was the same guy I was just telling you about that asked about wearing a face mask or whatever while he's recording. He said, "Yeah, I just binge watched most of the videos on your channel." I said, "Oh shit. Now you know how dumb I am."
dude, me too. It's all good. You're amongst
Especially go
friends
back,
here.
the earlier videos. I'm like,
That's
but
great.
yeah, we've had a really good time, doing this channel. So
Good.
it's really changed because when we started, these guys didn't want to start a channel. It was, they just started playing airsoft.
Hmm.
I needed something else to do because I was still stuck at
Totally.
home.
Totally
And,
understand.
I was like, well, hey, I'll do all the filming. I'll do all the stuff, you guys open boxes and shit like that. Well, then I started seeing what they were getting. I was like, I want to do that too. So I started ordering mystery boxes. It kind of escalated. And then we started doing reviews on these guns and like just having a really good time,
Hmm.
getting together and doing this stuff. Now, I will say I did have them on a really strict schedule in the beginning because I wanted stuff to do.
Yeah.
It wasn't about our channel per se. It was more about, hey, I'm bored. Like I'm
I need
going
something to
nuts
do.
here.
Yeah.
I was really limited with my physical ability. So I I was like, give me more content. Let's, so we started doing stuff. I think we put out 3 videos a week the first year.
Damn. Wow, dude. Way to go.
Bro, well, look, I wasn't sleeping very much. I was on steroids, to help recover and stuff. And then, so I would sleep like 2 hours here and there.
Sure.
And the rest of the time I was editing and editing. And
Wow.
it was kind of a new thing, so
Yeah.
with all this content. So I was trying out all these different things. And then, the editing tools,
Oh, there's tons out there and tons to
yeah,
learn. And it can be really confusing, but
right.
yeah.
Yeah.
What were you recovering from, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, yeah, I don't mind. It's Guillain-Barré syndrome. It's
Okay.
I don't know if you ever heard of it. A lot of
I've
people
not.
haven't.
Yeah.
It's
Not
very
familiar.
rare. It's an autoimmune disorder where basically you're fine one day and a week later in your wheelchair. So
Oh, wow.
yeah, and they don't know what causes it, but
Jeez, man.
it
Sorry.
attacks your nervous system, and so I was paralyzed. Like I couldn't. Uh, the first symptoms I had, I couldn't. I went to work. I couldn't go up. I worked in maintenance at
Hmm.
like a factory, so I
Yeah.
worked on machines and stuff like that. And so, I carried tool belt, like on my shoulder, whatever. And I go up these steps. It was plastic extrusion. And so I go up, these steps, whatever, this ladder. I couldn't go up the ladder. And I felt fine. I didn't feel sick
Hmm.
at all. And then, and I was like, what the hell? And then my fingers, like I couldn't grab my drill. I couldn't grab my tools. I couldn't
It's gotta
hold
be
them.
scary. Oof.
It was, I was, I was pretty alarmed. And
Yeah. I feel,
I,
yeah.
I don't
Absolutely. Yeah.
normally get a lot, like,
Rightfully so. Yeah.
so that was like on a Monday. Thursday, I was at the neurologist, and I needed a walker, then a wheelchair.
Hmm.
Wheelchair. Well, they wanted to put me in a wheelchair. I didn't, but I just crawled around at home on my arms.
Wow.
So I would roll out of bed and fall on the floor and crawl on my elbows,
That's
like
one way
to
to
the
do
bathroom
it.
and
Yeah.
stuff.
There you go.
I just they're like, we got to get you a wheelchair. I'm like, I'm not doing any of that shit. No.
Hmm. Yeah.
And, but anyway, so that was, that's kind of how this thing started because I was, at home all the time. And then, and that's why I wanted so much content,
Yeah.
just give me more. I'll edit. I don't care.
Keeps it
I'm like,
busy. Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then of course all the learning curve, with all these editing tools
Oh my God. Yeah.
and then I realized you can overlay like different audios. I was like, oh shit, this is like a month after editing.
Oh
I
yeah. Oh
didn't even
yeah.
know.
It's like your
So,
third eye opens and you're like, oh my God, I can do this to my video. This is going to make it so much
right.
better. Yeah.
And then I was downloading like GIFs or GIFs or whatever,
Mhm.
or little pictures and stuff to add in. And I said, oh my God, I could put these anywhere. Like, this is cool. But
Yeah.
yeah, it was a fun experience. I did get burned out after a little while,
It
but,
happens. It happens. Yeah.
yeah,
I hear you.
and then we all got busy. And so the channel kind of got stale for a minute, last year. And then I was like, I'm going to start doing these podcasts. And that's kind of where that came from, to be
Mhm.
honest. And I love it.
That's
I,
great,
I,
man.
I love meeting new people.
Yeah.
And I love hearing their stories. And, so a lot of times when I'm talking to these guys, like the last handful of people, they don't have a mic and headset like you do. So they'll be on their phone or whatever if
Sure.
they're, because it's better connection than our internet.
Mhm.
And so there's kind of a lag or an internet or a echo. And so I'll say something and then they'll start to talk and they'll go, go, oh no, go ahead. And I'm like,
Yeah.
no, bro, like I want to hear your stuff. Like my shit's boring. I want to hear your stuff.
I wouldn't call your stuff boring, man, but I definitely hear what you're saying. I mean,
Yeah.
I've been working remote for the past year now. It's like a Zoom echo. You're on a Zoom call, and like you
Right.
said, you'll be talking, then someone else will try to. It's like they're not deliberately cutting you off, but it's just just the internet being the internet. So,
Right.
but dude, that's amazing to hear that. Like you made something good happen out of a shitty situation.
Oh, thanks, dude.
Tried this
Yeah,
thing,
that's
so props to you, man. That's big.
appreciate it. It was it was merely survival. Like honestly, it was I
Yeah, mentally,
yeah.
and physically
Yeah.
too. I'm sure. Yeah.
Otherwise, the other option was, and I was there too, in a really bad mental place
Yeah.
for a while.
I
So
can't imagine. Oof.
yeah,
Sorry, man. That's gotta be rough.
but yeah, it's been good, man. A lot of good came from it. I started, so two of the guys on our channel, Coltrane and Christian, he goes by Chris, is those are two of my sons. And then
Oh, there you
JP,
go.
who's
That's
on,
awesome.
yeah, so JP, who's on the channel, that's one of their best friends. that they grew up with. So, and actually JP's the one that got them into playing airsoft,
There you go.
after high school and stuff. And then, so we're doing that. So, I have this connection with my kids, or two of my sons with that. And my third son, he was part of our earlier videos until he got busy. He has two kids and, working all the time and stuff.
Yep.
And then I started a cooking channel with my daughter, one of my daughters.
Oh, dude, way to go, man. That's awesome. Look at you go. You're a great dad. I love it.
Bro, no. I'm not saying it for that, but I'm going to tell you right now. And I am not, everyone that knows me, when I said, hey, I'm going to start this cooking channel with Caitlin, they started laughing because I still eat like I was in the military. Like, I don't care if it's all mixed together. I don't care what it tastes like. I just shovel it in
the same place, right?
So they're like, you're going to cook? I'm like, well, I'm going to have Caitlin cook and I'll just kind of watch or whatever.
Follow along, right?
Yeah, because I do not cook. I can make scrambled eggs and spaghetti and toast. Okay, that's about it.
Yeah, you can eat it.
But if it has to taste good,
yeah.
Don't get me to do it.
That's funny, man. That's funny.
Yeah. Dude, so you grew up in Minnesota, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, grew up right outside
what
of the
part of there?
Area.
Oh, Minneapolis, you said, yeah.
Minneapolis, yeah. So kind of out in one of the suburbs out there.
A lot of snow.
A lot of snow, but the summers, you got to give Minnesota some credit. Like, the summers are also very warm, very humid, like spectacular. We got like all these lakes and stuff like that. But yeah, the snow is like I said, I've definitely paid my dues when it comes to the snow. And I don't really see myself moving back to the Midwest anytime soon, just because, like I said, the South, it's just, our winters here are like 50, 40 degrees at most. So
that's the same as ours.
Yeah, there you go. Pretty.
We'll get now this year. Did you guys get a really bad cold front this year, like a few weeks ago?
It was cold. It dropped down to like 28 one night, but that was about as cold as it got. It wasn't as bad as compared to last year, where it was like we lost power for.
I think that's what I was thinking of last year. Yeah, because
I got lucky, and we only were out of power and water for like 2-3 days, but like we were talking to my girlfriend. She was talking to some people at work. Like, there's people out of power for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and it's just like I just really we got lucky, man. We got really, really lucky.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Now, when you were growing up, did you ever get into like winter sports since there was so much snow and stuff?
Yeah, I did a lot of skiing in Minnesota. We're not really known for our skiing. We got like hills, but family trips out to Colorado and stuff. We would do winter activities. I had one of my best friends had a cabin up north where we would go snowmobiling in the winter, which was an absolute blast. A little bit of skating and stuff like that, but I was a swimmer in middle school and high school.
Oh, okay.
So, definitely not like a hockey kid at all, but still, nonetheless, definitely some good stuff to do when you have some good snow.
Yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm. That was I kind of did the same thing. We did sled riding, and snowboarding wasn't even a thing when I was growing up. It was skiing, and then, later on, after I moved back from the military, my wife and I, we started having kids. We moved back home to Ohio. We're both from there. And when our kids started growing up, then snowboarding started to become a thing. I remember when we first took our kids like sled riding, I saw this kid on a board. I didn't know what it was. I was like, what the hell is that?
Yeah, what?
There was no internet to find this stuff out at the time. So it was, mid 90s, but but I never got into like skiing and stuff. I did more of the summer stuff, like water skiing and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Summer sports. But in Ohio, that's not, it's either raining or cold. Like there's
Take it.
like there's some nice weather in the summer, but it doesn't last long enough for me.
I hear you.
Now, what brought you to Georgia?
So I went to an art school down there, Savannah College of Art and Design. And so that's kind of the main reason why I went. My dad, when I was in high school, his rule was that we weren't allowed to go to a college within our state, within Minnesota, because he wanted us to like get out, and just experience new places.
Cheers to your dad.
Yeah, absolutely. Which is, obviously he was joking. If I wanted to go to like the U of M,
right,
he would have obviously let me. But I definitely thank him for kind of getting me outside of my comfort zone and making me go somewhere else. Because again,
Right.
it's a great town. SCAD is, that's where I learned to do my photography and graphic design and stuff like that. So, yeah, it was great.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Now, were you like kind of an artist growing up? Were you always attracted to that?
Yeah, I was. So I still am extremely dyslexic. And so stuff like, math, English wasn't really my forte. But I always enjoyed telling stories. But I couldn't do that like on with a pen and paper. So what I did is I decided to go the art direction because I could communicate that story through like a visual look and feel. And so, it started off with like painting and drawing in middle school and high school. I was actually pretty shitty in that medium. But once I went to SCAD, I was able to pick up kind of the more digital aspect of it. And so graphic
Yeah.
design, photography, and that's kind of where I, found my sweet spot.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. My wife's aunt she still lives up in Ohio. She's an artist. She does like kids books. She's done them
Oh,
for like 30
illustration, stuff like
years.
that. Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah, and she loves it, And then one of her daughters, she has three girls. One of her daughters is, they're all very talented already, just, because she always had them drawn and practicing, I guess, as they were young. But one of her daughters is really good. I think she is actually doing kids' books as well.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah.
That's
What are
really
you drinking, man?
I'm drinking some water right now, but besides that, I've got a little bit of glass of bourbon right here for you.
Bourbon. All right.
What
Cheers,
about you?
man.
Yeah, cheers to that. What are you drinking?
So I can't say what I'm drinking because people are going to be like, what the hell is wrong with this dude?
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
So look, so it's beer,
Okay.
okay,
Yep.
and vodka. So I mix
Oh,
beer.
interesting. All right. I've never heard of that before.
So yeah, I had neither. Okay, until last year, we were coming down coming out of lockdown stuff. My one of the guys I used to work with, who were still really close, and we've known each other, since we moved here, and him and I drink. When we get together, we can drink a lot. And
Attaboy.
he said,
Attaboy.
he says, he sends me a text one night last year and says, bro, you got to try mixing your vodka with the beer. Because we would always do shots, and then, drink, whatever. He's like, it's a totally different feel than just doing some shots separately. I was like, what? That sounds weird, man. I don't know. Whatever, I'll try it. And I was like,
How many
dude,
beers
this
was he
is
deep when he suggested that?
exactly
12 beers?
like
I'm going to throw some vodka in this.
right. Yeah, well, his texts were kind of like messed up, like the words. It's
Little
like
mumbled.
the written slurring.
Yeah, I hear you. That's great.
But yeah, so I tried it and I loved it. Yeah. So anyway, and the
Well,
vodka
cheers to
doesn't
that.
really taste too bad.
I was going to say, I feel like if vodka mixed with just about anything, you don't really taste the vodka. So I do have some vodka. I don't have any beer, so I'll have to try that this weekend
Yeah.
sometime. Interesting.
Go slow. Go
Go
slow.
slow, yeah. I was going to say, I'll start with one, and we'll see
Right.
how I'm feeling after that.
Yeah.
That's great. But you said that you served in the military.
Yeah. Hmm.
What branch?
Yeah.
What might be asking?
Marine Corps. So
Oh, way to go.
I was, in fact, my original dog tags are hanging
right
on
there.
that flag right there.
There you go. Very nice.
So I actually gave them to one of my sons like years ago, when I first got sick, and because I didn't know how bad it was going to get.
Yeah.
Because most of the videos I saw online, Guillain-Barré, like it's rare, but you can go down pretty fast, like being on a respirator and shit like that.
Damn, dude. That's
So so I was like, okay, one of y'all is taking my K-bar that I got from
nice.
the Marines. This is the
Beautiful. Look, hey, if your son doesn't want that, I'll take it.
and then I had it engraved
Oh, did you?
because
Oh, look at that.
see if it'll focus there. Yeah, it's so that
You can say
it's
Japanese.
Japanese,
Okay,
yeah, for comrades. But so I bought all three of my sons a knife kind of similar to this, you know, like a large knife. And so I had them all engraved and then gave them to them for Christmas. So I had mine engraved as well to match all theirs.
That's awesome, dude.
So so anyway, I was like, okay, you're going to take this knife. You're going to take my dog tags. One of y'all is going to take, you know, this gun or whatever. And then, so, but yeah, I served right after high school. My wife and I actually met in high school, but we didn't date until like right after we graduated high school.
Okay.
So we dated from like June until October until I went to boot camp. This was 1989. And,
Damn.
You probably weren't even born yet.
I was gonna say I was floating around in my dad's ball sack. I was yeah.
No shit, right? And then so yeah, I did 4 years in. We actually got married. I had like a year and a half left. And Chris, who's on our channel, he's our first child. He was born in California when I was stationed at Camp Pendleton out there.
Oh, that's funny. So was my dad.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah. That's interesting. That's super cool.
So,
yeah.
Your family or his dad was?
Yeah, his dad, if I'm not mistaken, was a Marine, and he was actually born in the hallway of Camp Pendleton because the story goes that the hospital was full, and so his mom, my grandmother, was unable to get in there, and so
yeah,
I don't know, just kind of a weird coincidence there.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, he was born out there. My wife actually almost died giving birth to him. She had this.
Oh wow.
Toxemia, I think it's called.
Okay.
So I think it's fairly common in different stages or whatever for you know, if it's their first pregnancy. But she had it pretty bad. So she actually was in the ICU for like, I don't know, a week or two out in California. And my son was fine. He was born early. He was 6 weeks early. Okay. But he was, you know, healthy and everything. And then we moved back to Cleveland, Ohio, and then had the rest of our kids out there. So we had 5 kids in 7 years. And we were busy.
Nice.
So we wanted a big family. We wanted to, you know, yeah, we got it. And, you know, when they were toddlers, it was, I tell you, bro, it was probably the hardest thing.
Yeah, I don't envy you for that. Sorry.
It was constant chaos. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, but now, you know, we're all close and they're close with each other. But yeah, when they were little and they start, you know, as they start getting older, and of course they start, you know, that sibling rivalry stuff, and they start fighting. I did what they did in the military, so I'd tie them together. So,
oh really? No way! That's awesome.
So I would take an ace bandage, right? You know, and just wrap it around one of their, you know, their arms together, and be like, all right, you're stuck together for like 2 hours. So, and they'd have to do what, you know, eat their lunch together, like do everything together. So, you know, I mean, I definitely am not the best at, you know, figuring that kind of stuff out with, you know. I probably didn't make the best decisions as a dad raising them, but you know, they turned out okay. You know,
the kids are going to be all right, as they say. So
there's no manual, you know, for raising kids because there's some basic rules, right? And then there's but each person is different personalities.
That's true. That's something that they don't talk about a lot because they just like talk about kids, right? And you just think about it as like one person, but I never thought of it like that. Yeah, it's an individual at the end of the day.
For sure. It was so fun to see because I love that kind of stuff, like you know, human development. You know, it's seeing in behavior and stuff. And I was like, man, they're all in the same environment. They're all getting taught the same stuff. And by the time they're like really young, man, like 2 years old and up, you can start seeing their individual personality coming out. I was like, holy cow, man, they're so different. You know, out of 5 kids, not one of them are the same as each other. So,
that's amazing.
Yeah, I love that kind of stuff. I loved being, you know, that, you know, a dad that was involved with them growing up and everything. And my wife, that was, that was all she wanted in life. You know, she wanted a big family and have kids, and she was great at it. You know, it still is. You
That's
know,
awesome, man.
she's always the one that kind of brings everybody together, and I'm always the one that pisses everyone off. So,
That's all right. That's all right.
oh yeah. So you have siblings?
I have a my younger yet larger brother. He's 3 years younger than me, but he's about, God, I don't know, 200, 220 pounds, like 6'2". He played, football in college. I mean, we're total like polar opposites in every single way. You know, I went to art school. He went to play football in college.
Yep.
That's funny that you mentioned like, roughhousing, as boys, we would do that all the time. And of course, he was my younger brother. He was smaller, so I could get him in a headlock. But nowadays, it's like, I go home to see him, and he's towering over me. And I'm looking up at him, and he's doing, what's it called, like MMA and stuff like that. So
Oh yeah.
he can handle me like no problem. So he's definitely come a long way, and I'm super proud of him. But
That's awesome.
yeah. So how
That's
did
good. You guys are close.
yeah, no, it's great. I should probably call him more often. But he's all the way up in Michigan. So again,
Oh, okay.
talk about polar opposites. I'm all the way down here in Texas, and he's all the way even further up north.
Did he play football up there?
He did. Yep. He went to Michigan Tech, and I think it's a D2 team.
Yeah.
He's no longer playing. He's focusing on kind of his own business. He's into marketing and stuff like that. And so he,
Nice.
God, of course he told me, and I can't think off the top of my head, but basically he reaches out to like smaller companies, and he'll run ads for them on different social media platforms. And he's killing it, man. He's doing really, really well with that.
That's
So
awesome.
I think he's definitely found his calling in life.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's great. How did like you and your sons get into airsoft? I'm curious.
So so when the kids were little, when they were growing up, we moved here in '07, and they were, I think Chris was like 12 or something, somewhere around there. But they wanted some airsoft guns to, just the little Springer pistols to run around the backyard. And
Oh yeah, boy
so,
toys. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So they started out with that, and because I taught them real steel guns when they, from a very young age, from like 5 and 6, mostly for gun safety,
Yeah.
and because we have guns in the house, whatever. But so they wanted these, and then I have BB guns as well that I grew up with, pellet guns and stuff. And I mean, you can't, it's a little too dangerous to shoot each other with those.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely.
So,
would not be fun.
like, no, we're not taking your brother to the hospital because you shot his eye out.
Don't want
But
that.
so they wanted those Springers, so we got them those, and then so they played with those for a little while, and then then that was it. Well, then after high school, JP on our channel, he they always stayed in contact with these some of their friends, and so Johnny was talking about getting into the bigger airsoft events that were around here. So he started getting into it. He got them into it, and so then he invited them to go play at some events. So then they started once you go to one event like that,
It's game over, man.
Yeah, dude.
You never look at airsoft the same.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like
Open
they're like
play is just not what it used to be.
right. Yeah, there's no Springers. These guns look like real, the
Yep.
replicas and stuff. And they feel, a lot of them are, metal, or, aluminum or whatever, but they're
Metal,
heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Wood.
So they're not just like, they don't feel like plastic toys. So
See-through plastic. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So they, and that's how it started. Well, then they played for, I don't know, a few weeks. And then one, Johnny came over for, I guess for them to go to an event or whatever. And when he came over, he's like, dude, I found these like mystery boxes you can get from Evike.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Yeah. And he's like, they're called Box of Awesomeness. I was like, what? Dude, I want one just because of the name. And,
It's got a certain ring to it. Yeah. Absolutely.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I was like, bro, this sounds cool. But so anyway, we actually, the first, I think I had, I don't know, 4 or 5 videos already filmed before we decided to start the Airsoft channel.
Mm-hmm.
It was one of the channels I started before that was CNR Reviews, and that was me and Colton were doing reviews on like random shit, bro. Like I said, I was just looking for anything to do.
Totally.
So
Yeah.
I said, I want to start a review channel, you know? And he's like, what are we going to review? I said, I don't know. Grab some shit out of the kitchen. So, so anyway, we, when they started getting the airsoft, stuff, I was like, dude, that would be cool to do on our review channel. Let's do a review on this gun or
There you
whatever.
go. Yeah.
I didn't know what, you know, some of these older videos were funny as shit because I'm like, well, here, let me stand here and you just shoot like this.
Just
And then I
figure it
went,
out. Yeah.
yeah, we were figuring it out.
Yeah, totally.
So anyway, it was like, that's how it started. So I recorded like 4 or 5 videos. We never posted them on the other channel. And then when Johnny came over and talked about this mystery box, I was like, bro, we need to start an airsoft channel. And actually Johnny came up with the logo, the T with the triangle.
Yeah, yep, yep.
So he designed that. Now there was a lot, you know, he's kind of a good draw, you know, he's a pretty good artist.
Oh, it's a great logo. Yeah.
Yeah, he had a bunch of stuff around it. He had, the triangle was bigger and the T was smaller, and he had like guns inside there and a snake. I don't know, like, you know, badass, cool looking shit.
Hell yeah. Oh yeah.
And so as we got together, you know, we were sitting here hashing it out. And I was like, bro, we need to, that looks awesome, but we need to condense and like, you know, kind of clear it up. And they were like, no, we got to keep guns in there. I was like, you don't have to. And so I remember talking to them about, because I started marketing years ago, and I was like, you know, the logo is just for branding. Like it's just for familiarity. So you want it clean and crisp and you know, easy to read. You know, we're looking
my
at
language here. Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. So I was like, let's get rid of all this other stuff. Let's condense the triangle around the T and let's see what it looks like. And they're like, man, we got to have guns in there. I'm like, bro, look at the biggest companies on the planet. Okay. Google, Facebook, Instagram, whatever, you know, all these things. Look at their logos.
Yeah.
It's like the simplest shit ever. Okay. It doesn't have to, your logo doesn't have to portray what your channel is about.
Yeah.
You know, that can be in a description.
Yep.
Yeah. So anyway, so that's what we decided on. And then once we decided on it, then I went nuts, man, because I was like, okay, we're going to set up, because I studied business years ago. And I was like, I remember hearing, you know, some talks from these business guys that were, you know, very wealthy. And they said, if you're going to start a business, if you can, you know, fund it, set everything up in the beginning when you're small, as if you're, you know, treat it as it's big, as if it's big,
okay,
right from the very beginning. That way, later on, as it grows, you don't have to change anything. So I started the merch stuff. I started, you know, on Teespring, we have all the, you know, well, like this, you know, this stuff.
Yeah,
we have all the T-shirts. We have all the logo stuff. We have stickers and patches. So I ordered all this stuff. Found all these places that'll make, you know, custom. In fact, this glass.
Oh, get out of here, dude. That's sick.
Yeah.
Look at that. Didn't even notice
So
it.
at the bottom, it says,
2 years, something.
yeah, 2 years on YouTube. Chris, Coltrane, JP, and E-Rock.
Look at that.
Underneath the logo.
That's sweet.
So I ordered these when we hit our 2-year mark, which was almost a year ago. April this year will be 3 years. So on our 2-year mark, our anniversary, we I had the guys over, and I had bought 4 of these. And so I wrapped them, you know, I had them wrapped and stuff, like gift thing, and presented them to them. I think we did a video on it, to be honest. I think so, but I can't remember. But anyway, I gave them these. But yeah, so I started looking at all that kind of stuff for, you know, to put our logo out there and start branding. That way, if I don't want to have to change anything later on.
That's smart. No.
And it worked out great. So I don't have to change anything now.
Yep.
You know?
No, that's really smart as a graphic designer. Like it helps not having to go back and then like update as you grow. Just kind of like, like you said, a baseline of just having it really strong, a really good foundation, and then not having to worry about for like years to come of updating, you know, graphics on shirts or mugs or you name it. So yeah, I mean,
was the other thing when we looked at the logo, you know, like putting them on T-shirts. When you know, some of that stuff, if you have too much going on, like crammed in there, it just kind of bleeds together and it doesn't look crisp. You know,
you lose the readability of it.
Right. Exactly. So then you're like, oh, is that a gun or is that a snake? What the hell is that thing?
Yeah. Yeah, rule of thumb, like someone should be able to stand on like the other side of the room and you should be able to like just instantly be like, I know what that shape is. I know, be able to read it. No problem.
Yeah.
So good call on you trying to
Oh, appreciate it, man.
pull some stuff away.
Well, we all kind of collaborated together on that because, like I said, Johnny drew the original thing. He still had the triangle and a T.
Mhm.
And then actually his girlfriend at the time, she was the one that came up with the idea to capitalize the F in TriFecta. And
there you go.
yeah,
Nice.
so we were talking one day, we're drawing all this stuff out, writing it out, like how is it going to be placed, on the website and all, whatever.
Yep.
On our YouTube channel, what kind of font are we going to use? And she's like, we should, because we did it we tried all these different ways. She's like, we should capitalize the F. And it looked different because when we searched any kind of name they came up with when we first started our channel, we were searching for names, what to call it. Our original one was actually called SS Airsoft. I had no clue there was an actual brick and mortar store in Atlanta, Georgia, called SS Airsoft.
Really?
It's been around
That's
forever.
So funny. It's whenever you think you have like the most unique
Right.
name, like or username or whatever, there's always someone or something, some store that has that name already. It's
crazy. Yeah.
insane. Yeah.
Well, so Johnny came up with that name. It was Silent Sniper or something like that, or something to do with that kind of thing,
Mhm.
theme or whatever. And he's like, yeah, so we could just call it SS. I was like, all right, cool. So then he left. We had, we were still talking, whatever. He left, and then I started searching, and I said, oh shit. Okay, well, I have to tell him we can't name it that.
Ah, damn. Yeah, right.
Well, the thing was, we already like built this logo, so we already started drawing out a logo and everything for SS and like doing all this stuff. And then the next day, I was like, "Yeah, we're gonna figure out something else."
Mhm.
So, like I said, he came up with TriFecta, and so I started searching TriFecta. And I'm like, "Holy shit!" There's like so many things named TriFecta, but there's not TriFecta Airsoft. So as soon as I found that TriFectaAirsoft.com, the .com was available. I bought that right away.
Yep.
Just so
Back now before it.
yeah.
disappears.
So I bought it
Seriously,
for $15 instead of 500. That somebody else owned it.
man. Yep. Seriously, that's a big help.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's always super cool to kind of work on logos that are within the Second Amendment or Airsoft community.
Yeah.
I've been fortunate to be able to work on a few. And it's such a fun time to just work on projects like that. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So what do you is that the kind of stuff you do? Like mostly logos or?
Yeah. So my day job, I would say it's primarily like focused on a brand. I help just kind of create a ton of different assets for it. But kind of my side gig would be obviously doing logos. But it's interesting that you brought up, you made your YouTube channel kind of when you were having issues with like your mental health and you just like needed something to do.
Yeah.
I'm similar in the sense where I wasn't like recovering from something with my health, but COVID popped up and I was needing. I had literally just graduated school, and my days consisted of like day drinking and job hunting, and that was pretty much it. And so, sure enough, I was like, I was just looking for like a little shitty pistol, just like kind of shoot in the backyard or whatever, and I made the mistake of falling across eVikey.com, which I had browsed all the time as a kid, but I hadn't touched it in like 10 years or so.
Yeah.
And so once I went on there, it was game over, and I just kind of fell back into the rabbit hole that is Airsoft. And so here I am, having joined Ghost Frogs and gone to, my first milsim and started my first YouTube channel. So it's definitely a big rabbit hole that you can fall down very easily.
Was your first experience, your gameplay, was that a milsim?
No. So, I mean, obviously I played Airsoft as a kid in the backyard, like you were talking about with your kids of Springers. And then just, life happens. I don't have money as a kid. And so it stops. And so my first, recently my first experience was going to, Thanks Airsoft here down in, Houston, Texas. Which is a local field. I was like looking for something to do. I had bought like a SEMA AK-74U and some shitty like, Amazon vest. And I was like, all right, let's go out. It might suck or I might like it. And sure enough, the community welcomed me with open arms. it's just a bunch of man children running around in the woods, having fun, myself included. And so, but I was lucky enough to go with the Ghost Frogs to reindeer games last year. I forget what month this was, but that was my first big like Milsim event, and it was something else, man. Like we were saying, you don't look at open play the same after you go to your first Milsim. It's insane.
Yeah. I was watching your video. I think it's the one where you were talking about why you play airsoft. You had this background, like you had I guess you had a green screen.
The green screen. Oh yeah, totally.
And you were, every time you were talking about the, airsoft, just like a man, children playing, whatever, you'd have all these things, images pop up. I was like, this is so fun to watch, bro.
Good. I'm glad, man. I'm glad. I appreciate the feedback, whether it be positive or negative. I just wanted to, instead of just me like talking at a camera, I think that's kind of boring to watch. So giving people something to look at that's related to what I'm talking about.
Right.
So
it worked well.
Thank you.
Especially like you had some really fast cuts in there with, the background changing based on what you were saying. I was like, oh, that is really cool.
It took a long time to edit that, man. I'm not going to lie.
I'll bet.
I kind of lost interest in the project like for a month or two. And then I started the YouTube channel, just like, all right, well, let's go ahead and finish this and post it and kind of see what people have to think. And, I've been, lucky enough to people enjoy it. So definitely something I want to keep doing in the future is kind of like little commentary videos and stuff like that.
That's cool. So how was your Milsim experience?
It was insane, man. Like I said, that was my first one. It was in Fort Worth, Texas, at like a mount facility. So again, I'm like an art school, nerdy art kid. So I have no really military experience. So this was like opening my third eye when it came to airsoft. I went out with the Ghost Frogs, which is just a great group of guys. It was about, I want to say like 20 of us went, and we all wore the same uniform and stuff like that. And man, it was insane. But I also blame it for making me purchase night vision, because I remember going out with like my $15 Amazon flashlight. And there was about 20 or 50 guys on Sierra Dynamics, which was the team that we were fighting. And like 20 or 50 guys had night vision. And so we got absolutely destroyed. I remember there was about 20 of us kind of like walking from our fob into the city. And we were like, all right, here's what we're going to do. We're getting a game plan going. And we come up to this wall and we stop. And next thing I know, there's just this blinding light. And my ears are like ringing for a few seconds.
Oh, shit.
And 20 of us get taken out by one grenade. And it turns out it was just one guy behind a tractor with a pair of night vision. And we had no idea. It was like maybe 10, 15 feet away from us. And so like right then I was like, all right, let's look into night vision, see what happens with that. And sure enough, I just, I had my PVS 14 show up like yesterday, and I'm loving it, man. I'm going to be running that at Southern Front next week. So really looking forward to it.
That's cool. One of the guys that I talked to, I've had him on the podcast a couple times. He has his own channel, Gunfather Milsim. And he was talking about, I think he was doing a live stream, and somebody asked him, he'll answer questions while he's on the live stream. And somebody asked him about night vision or night play or night games or something. And he said, in night games, there's people with night vision, and then there's targets, and that's it.
That's pretty much how it worked out for us.
Yeah.
We tried to play for like during the night, but we just like, we gave up. We were just like, we tried, we did put up a good fight, but at the same time, it's like, you can't keep up with guys running around with like $12,000 worth of night vision.
Yeah, for real.
So that's funny.
So
I'm going to steal that quote.
I know, right? There's he has a lot of real world experience, from his what he's done for the last 13 years.
What's his name? I'm gonna look him up.
Look it up. Gunfather Milsim.
Gunfather Milsim. Okay.
Definitely follow him. He does. So most of his channel is about real like tactics, right? CQB tactics, stuff like that. And he's got, he's been on the SWAT team for 13 years in the state he's in. He is a SWAT officer now, that he's like an instructor He's been a sniper for I don't know how many years on that team,
So
and
he
now
kind of knows what he's
yeah,
talking
I
about.
mean, a little bit, you know.
Only a little bit though. 13 years of experience. Yeah,
I mean, bro, like,
great
yeah,
learning
he's,
professor.
I mean, I consider him a good friend. We've talked, so many times. In fact, the last time we talked was a couple weekends ago, and I recorded it, but I didn't post it. I sent him a text because it was kind of later at night. I had been drinking, and by the time I got on here, I was like, the first probably 30 or 40 minutes of of us talking,
Hmm.
it was fine. And as it went on, I'm trying to edit this, right?
Yeah.
I'm watching it sober and I'm going, who is this fucking idiot trying to talk over here?
You get a little
When you're
sloppy,
around
yeah.
somebody, when you're sober and somebody's like, starting to get
Oh my
buzzed and they
God.
start
Yeah.
slurring and they start talking real slow.
That's great. That's funny.
Dude, I was like, bro, I cannot post this right now. I mean, I know everyone knows I'm an idiot, but no, this is too much.
That's funny. I hear you. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, he's a good dude, man. He makes his own slings as well that
Oh
are really
wow.
really good. Yeah, I
Okay.
just bought a couple. I don't have one in here right now, but on one of our, in fact, the giveaway video I posted last week, I think, I showed the sling off a little bit. But yeah, if you check out his channel, man, you'll see. How he, in fact, one of his latest videos, he just talks about the newest version of his sling that he's built, that he's built, and it's awesome. Like they're really, really, really effective.
It's always really cool to see guys that are like actually in the community and have that experience,
Yep.
like make products,
Yeah, for sure.
Good for him, man. I'll look him up because I'm definitely in that stage where it's like I have I have all this like cool gear. Don't get me wrong, but at the same time, it's like I want to learn kind of those tactics and stuff like that
Sure.
can be applied to airsoft, but also real world situations.
Yeah, it translates over.
Yeah.
That's there's a lot of people. You went to college, you went to school and stuff, and you went down that path. I went in the military. He went into law enforcement. Soon after college and stuff. So I mean, we all have these different paths, and like none of my sons went in the military. My daughter went in the Air Force. One of my daughters went in the Air Force.
Okay.
But she was in like administrative work. She did like paperwork for like medical stuff for the pilots. So
Wow.
they had to go through her to get cleared to get on the flight line.
That's
So
cool.
she worked. She was in that for 4 years. But like all three of my sons didn't go in the military. My one of my youngest son, he actually went to Marine Corps boot camp.
Mhm.
And didn't make it. So he I think he was in there for like 6 weeks, and then he came home. But it was so none of my sons have those real world training like that, and they start playing airsoft, and they're learning on the field too,
Yeah.
as they go.
There's definitely, yeah, like to your point, that you can definitely learn. There's certain skills that translate from airsoft to kind of real steel firearms.
Yeah.
I recently was able to, my grandfather passed down, an older but very good 22 long rifle, not bolt action, lever gun to me.
Oh yeah.
And
Nice.
that kind of opened the door to this whole world of, hey, I have these, fake toy guns that shoot BBs. How about I go get, a real gun that shoots real bullets? And so
Yeah.
I was able to pick up, an AR and a pistol, and
Nice.
just trying to go and get that training and going to the range every, once, twice a week. Just trying my best to stay sharp,
Right.
and stuff like that. So
That's really cool that you get into airsoft and it just kind of spills over into this other
oh yeah,
thing. And these are life lessons that you're going to learn, that are that last for forever, like
100%, yeah,
and that's that's a good thing. Like even if somebody's like not pro gun or whatever, like learning these things are still beneficial because I think I talked about it on my last podcast with Greg. I said, I always looked at it as, teaching my kids gun safety was a responsibility of the parents,
Yes.
no matter how you feel about it, because the chances, statistically, the chances that your child is going to come in contact with guns sometime in their life real guns is really, really high.
Yep.
And I looked at it as the same as teaching them, hey, don't touch the hot stove. Don't, use a sharp knife if you don't know how to, like
Yep.
it was the same kind of concept. Now, obviously I was like, okay, I got to teach them because I have guns in the house, but I just felt this responsibility to teach them just the bare basics,
Oh,
I mean, I
absolutely.
did teach them how
Safety.
to
Yeah.
shoot as they got older, but, you know, sight alignment, sight picturing, how to shoot long range or whatever. But
Mhm.
it was like the basic handling of guns. When you pick up a gun, don't put your finger on the trigger, like that takes some practice because your natural instinct when you grab it, that's what it's supposed to do. Your grip is supposed to go like this,
Yep.
you know? So you have to, learn, like, don't do this, pick it up like this,
Oh,
whatever. But
absolutely.
yeah, so I started that as a young age, but you're learning this stuff and it kind of, you got into airsoft and now it's spilling over into these other things that, you're getting interested in, which is really cool, man. I like that.
Yeah, no, it's great. I mean, growing up, I would go to camp and they would have like, 22 bolt action shooting ranges and they would teach you kind of gun safety there.
Yeah.
But, so yeah, to your point, going playing airsoft, it's still in some sense, we'll call it a firearm that shoots
Sure.
something that could hurt you depending on where you are. So you definitely want to make sure you're staying safe.
Have you seen those videos where, I know you just started kind of like doing your YouTube channel, but I'm sure you've been watching some videos here and there over the, whatever, the past few months. Have you seen those ones where people get them embedded in their cheek or their lip or their eyebrow?
Yeah, that's funny that you bring that up. I had a teammate who actually got part of his tooth shot out like a couple weeks ago. Just an open play. And so wear your face masks, people, for the love of God.
I'm telling you, man.
You got to wear them.
So JP, he'll wear, if he doesn't want to wear one, like in the summer, he'll wear just his goggles, but then he'll wear a mouth guard, like you do in football.
That's smart. I saw a few guys running a mouth guard, and then it was like also a mouth guard, but it kind of went on the outside of your lips, if that makes sense. Which I've never seen before. So I was, you definitely don't want to pay like a couple $1,000s to get your tooth fixed because it got shot by a BB.
Yeah, I was the last. So Alex Hillary, she's in the UK. The podcast I did with her, she actually shot someone's tooth out in like one of her first games.
Oh, the first game.
And then
playing airsoft, I'd quit after that if that happened.
Oh yeah, she shot this. She shot the dude's tooth out. Well, then I said, she was like, I was so worried I was gonna have to pay for his dental bill.
Yeah,
but she didn't. He got fit. He was fine. But I said, does he still play airsoft? She said, yeah. I said, does he wear a face mask? She said, yep.
Yeah.
And then
the hard way.
Yeah, Vixen, who's in the UK as well. The podcast I did with her just a couple weeks ago, she said she got her tooth shot out.
Ooh, man.
And she said, I thought I had a chunk of the BB in my mouth, so I spit it out. She said, oh shit, that's my tooth.
Oh, that's my tooth, dude. Yeah, that's not a BB.
I said, did you save your tooth? So she said, yeah, I saved it, but luckily her cousin or aunt or something like that is an actual dentist. So she took it to them the next morning and got it fixed. Yeah. With her piece of tooth there. But yeah, that would man, that would
not be fun.
That would hurt.
Yeah, that would hurt. That and like you said, getting like a BB embedded into your skin.
Yeah.
So that would not be fun.
Yeah, these guys wear they go pretty geared up when they do these, but they do mil sims. So they have done the 1 day things. They have done the CQB here and there, but they like the mil sims because they like that full experience. It's kind of like a vacation. So
absolutely it is.
Yeah. Especially if you have to drive a couple hours or a few hours away. It's the whole experience is months of planning. So you got to get your ticket ahead of time. You've got to get all your gear ready. You've got to get a place to stay if you're not going to sleep on the field. So it's a really fun vacation for them that incorporates some gameplay that they love to do. So
no, it is. It really is an experience. I mean, I've been planning for Southern Front for like a month now, give or take.
Yeah.
Just buying camping gear, BBs, making sure my guns are going to be working and stuff like that, and just tweaking stuff from the last milsim that I was at. And like that's equally as fun as going out to play. Just like getting excited and getting the energy going. Talking to guys on the team, like, oh, what do you have going on, and just kind of comparing kits and stuff like that. So, I mean, to your point, start to finish, it's an experience.
Yeah, these events that these guys go to and what you're talking about, you don't just get your personal stuff. Like you're looking forward to getting all this stuff together and prepping for this. But then when you get there, man, it's the camaraderie. I mean, it's the same camaraderie that I had in the military. It's the, you all go through that, all that, that weekend you go, and especially if it's bad weather, if it's really extremely hot or if it's, really rainy and muddy, you all go through the shit together. And it's, it makes for a really big, camaraderie, building event, I guess,
Yeah, team building. Yeah, I mean, that's good that you brought that up, because I went out with my team, the Ghost Frogs, to reindeer games, and it just we left just knowing each other so much better and just being closer as a team, just through communication, who's playing their role and stuff like that. And we're pretty split up. I want to say like 80% of the guys on the team are either active military or retired, and then there's kind of the 20% like me who are just playing airsoft to have fun.
Yeah.
And they love stuff like this because it reminds them of the good old days, if you will.
Yeah.
So it's so much fun, man. I can't wait to go out there again.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love seeing it, with especially with people I know. I edit these guys' videos and stuff when they go to an event, and now that we've branched out with I guess we all the people I've met through this experience on our channel, and they have some of them have their own YouTube channel, like I was talking about, Gunfather Milsim, these kind of things. It's really cool to trade stories and have that connection with each other.
Oh yeah, no, it's cool just to like talk to people within the community, and you just talk about different experiences where people are out in the world. To your point, you're talking about people, with people who are all in the UK, which is crazy. And I've been lucky enough to talk to some people who are in Croatia and kind of hear their experience.
Oh, nice.
And so it's just the wonders of the internet, if you will. It's just it's super, super cool. I mean, I met Radar from the Moon Goons, which is a team kind of out in the East Coast, I think New Jersey. And we followed each other on Instagram, and we were actually able to meet in person at reindeer games, which is just crazy cool. It's just like, here's this random guy who I met online, and now we're hanging out at reindeer games, just shooting the shit about. And he's the asshole who introduced me to night vision and helped me through the whole buying process. So I for emptying my bank account a little.
Yeah, I know, right?
It's super cool. It's super cool.
That is awesome, man. Yeah. I everyone I've talked to, they're so surprised, I guess, by how tight the airsoft community is. When they first start getting into it, they're like rookies, right? So you always expect, I think it's kind of natural because of how we grow up.
Oh yeah.
You're going to be hazed. You're going to be shit on. You're going to be, fuck you, kid. You're a rookie. You're a noob. Yep. You get on Call of Duty, you'll for 5 minutes, you'll hear it,
Oh my God.
So it's, I think we have that expectation. And when you get there, it's, the veterans in airsoft are super welcoming to the noobs. Like
they are, which is great. It's awesome.
Yeah. It's such a tight community, and it's very different that way,
Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, like the noobs are going to be the guys who go to the milsims, who are going, they're like the next generation. And it sounds kind of corny, but being nice to the newbies, they're the future of the sport in some regards.
Absolutely. So, well, you need more targets. It sucks
you also need more targets.
And you need people out there that learn the rules, and that sense of honor, because airsoft is about, it's on the honor system, right? You call your hit.
Yep.
So, I remember days when I started paintball, it was, we'd show up to an actual pay field, and it was just the 5 of us.
Yeah.
And we're waiting because we're excited. So we get it there, as soon as they open on a Saturday, and no one's there. We're like, well, fuck, how are we going to play with 5 people?
Yeah.
So we always encourage, like, hey, I don't care if you're new or not. Here's some basics. Just do this, this, and this, whatever. All right, let's go. You know. But I was talking to a guy, Curly. His call sign's Curly, in the UK just a couple days ago, and he says we were talking about the same thing. You know, this where you show up and there's hardly anyone there. And he said the field that they play at now has gotten so popular on an open play day on like a Saturday.
Wow.
They'll have an average of 100 to 120 people show up.
Jesus, man, that's great.
Every Saturday.
That's super
I said, holy shit.
Damn.
That is cool.
That is that's a really good crowd for airsoft. Man. That's great. Yeah, our fields, we get, I want to say like 50 to 80 people probably for open plays and, events. My team, the Ghost Frogs, will host events and we'll get, 100, little over 100. So it's just, and I feel like we're growing every single time because Cameron, the guy who's in charge of the team, he's really good at just like, he's such like a charismatic guy, and he's just like the person who can talk to like literally everyone. Yeah. And so he's able to go out and just promote stuff, and just every one of the Ghost Frogs, they're able to just go out, have a good time, play fair, and get the good word of the sport out there, if you will.
Yeah, for sure. So you're excited about this next event? When's that? In a couple months?
That is actually next weekend.
Oh shit!
Not this upcoming weekend.
Yeah.
Next weekend. I think it's the 19th, and that is taking place. I think kind of outside of Dallas. I want to say.
Okay.
Which is about a 4 or 5 hour drive for me.
Okay.
So me and the Ghost Frogs are going to go up. And I mean, like we were talking about, just looking forward to another good weekend of airsoft.
Awesome, man. Well, it's been really nice talking with you, man. It's really good to meet you.
How long have we been talking for, dude? I feel like it's been like 5 minutes.
Let me check.
Timer?
I honestly don't know.
It feels like it's
an hour and 10 minutes.
Look at that.
Isn't that crazy?
Nice. Man, time flies.
Yeah.
Having fun.
Well, I'm glad. Yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad it's not. A lot of people ask me when they when they start. If I message them on Instagram, they're like, do I need to prep? Do I need to have any kind of questions that I need to answer? I'm like, no, man, we're just bullshitting. It's gonna be fun.
I was a little nervous at first. I'm like, oh my God, a podcast. I've never been on one before. And then I watched your videos and I was like, oh, like this is totally just like relaxed. Like it's a good time. You're just like, to your point, you're bullshitting, talking about the sport and stuff that you like. So thank you so much for having me on, man. This was a really fun time. It was
awesome.
Great.
Well, I look forward to another one, in the future.
Please. That'd be great.
You have some, I want to hear about these night visions you got the next time we talk, if you're able to use them on the field.
Sir. Hopefully I'll be using them at Southern Front with the Ghost Frogs. I'm going to buy like a little device that can capture video through it.
Awesome.
So definitely look for some stuff on Instagram and YouTube.
Yeah. So what's your, where can people find you on those?
Yeah. So Admin Airsoft on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. And then my team, the Ghost Frogs, you can find them Ghost Frogs Airsoft on Instagram. I am going to plug, we're developing a gaming app to track our teammates and objectives on the field for Black Box 3, which will be happening March 20th at the Tanks Airsoft Field in Houston, Texas. So if anyone watching this is in Houston, Texas, come on out and play some airsoft with us. Awesome, dude. Yeah, I think we have a couple guys on our Discord that are in Texas. Hell yeah. Well, tell them to come on out. That'd be great. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, man. It was great to meet you. Likewise. And I look forward to our next one. Yeah, boss. Appreciate it, man. Have a good night. Later, bro. All right, you too.